So in this video, I'm going to go over the actual psychology required to be able to launch and grow a successful business to at least six-figure months. All right. So that's what I've been able to accomplish myself. So that's only what I can talk about so far. I haven't achieved seven-figure months yet. I will get there, but not yet, so I can't talk about that. But anyways, there's three core things I'm going to talk about. This is critical. Like, this is the actual stuff that's really allowed me to win. Because the truth is, like, your beliefs, your mindset, your psychology will keep you poor. Like, it will. It's very painful. And I see this every single day. I experience myself a lot when I was starting out. Think of these examples. All right. So, I don't want to be salesy. Example of a belief system. All right. When in reality, hey, like, if you have a really good product that actually changes lives, it's your obligation to sell it. Like, if someone had the cure to cancer and they didn't shout it from the rooftops, like, isn't that unethical? Isn't that evil? I think so. So if you truly have a good product, you need to sell it. So that all automatically, boom, with a real, a real paradigm, real belief set, you can see how that is just a broken, limiting belief. All right, another thing, like, I used to not want to, for the longest time, I was like scared of doing any paid ads. I was like, oh, well, I don't want to lose money. It's the stupidest thing ever. Like, it's an investment into learning how to make paid ads work. It's a system where you can put $1 in and make $5 out. And so it's just stupid beliefs that keep you poor over and over again. And so there's three fundamental things that I really figured out to overcome a lot of these limiting beliefs. And so you can operate, at a successful paradigm and win and grow your business. So here's the top three. Number one is you must be okay with failure. All right, you must be okay with failure. The thing with this is, like, go back to, like, your upbringing and schooling and how the system is set up, and we're taught from a young age to see failure as a horrible thing. I remember in school, like, if some kid failed at something, like, this kid was a loser. Like, oh man, this guy's going nowhere. He's failing his classes. Like, that's awful. And I was like, you don't want to fail. Like, it's not your objective, but we should really see failure as feedback and be okay with failure. Because failure is actually one of the fastest route to success. Because failure gives you direct feedback of, hey, oh, I'm doing this wrong. I need to change this. I need to change this. And then you can iterate, you can get better, you can adapt, you can learn from your failures. But we're just trained with this mindset from from day one of failure is a bad thing. We have to reprogram that. Failure is okay. Failure is a good thing. All right. Crucial, because in business you will fail over and over and over and over again. And so you have to learn to be okay with that. A lot of people just aren't okay with that. That's the reason why a lot of people won't even really start or take action. They're like, well, I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail. I don't want to send an outreach message and have them not respond. Then I'll get rejected. I don't want to sell something because I might fail. It's stupid if you really think about it. But it's just this paradigm you've been trained with, and so you have to reprogram yourself, or else you're never going to be successful. Failure is okay. Failure is a good thing. I'll give you one more thing on this. How I think about it a lot of times is I would much rather live with failures than regret. Regret is the thing I don't want to have. I definitely do not want. And so if I think of myself 80 years old, and thinking back on my life and what I did, do I want to have a bunch of regrets of, oh, well, I wonder what would have happened with that business, if I don't know why I have an accent now when I'm older, but I wonder what would have happened with that business when I was younger, if I actually took a shot, if I actually, tried it and put my all into it. I wonder what would have happened. I don't want to have those regrets. I don't. That would be really painful, I think. And that's if you talk to any 80-year-old, they talk about regrets, a lot of times. It's I don't want that. I'd rather have worst case, I could have a bunch of stories of, oh man, I took this crazy shot with my business. I did this crazy thing. I can have a bunch of stories to tell around the home I'm in. So I'd rather have that. So that's another lens I look through here to be okay with failure. That's number one. So be okay with failure. Number two, this is one of the biggest ones. It took me a long time to overcome this. And, it's still something that still exists to some level, no matter where you're at. But stop caring what other people think. Stop caring what other people think. This one's really hard for people, because this is kind of connected to the failure. Because a lot of people see failure as a bad thing, and they're more scared of what other people will think of them if they fail. They're like, oh, well, if I start posting content online, then all my high school friends, all my college friends are gonna make fun of me. Who cares? Dude, like just do it. Like who cares? Why do you care so much? Like why are you allowing all these people that you don't even really care about to dictate your life? Like they're literally making decisions for you. That's a pretty sad reality. Someone just controlling you 24/7. Like it's sad. It's really pathetic if you think about it. Or it could be your parents, could be, anyone. Anyone who's like has this really like whose opinion like you really value. All right. The best way I like to think about this is like, if you want to be successful in an area, you should only seek advice and feedback from people who are successful in that area. All right, so if you're like, it does not make any sense to listen to your uncle or your aunt on their business advice if they never run a successful business. Like it makes zero logical sense. Zero. Like why? Like that wouldn't make any sense. Like why would I go? I'm not gonna go to like some homeless guy and ask him like what stocks to invest. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like come on, thank you. It just doesn't make any sense. So that's a crucial thing here. And you have to get over this, like, or else like you're always just gonna be chained to living a life for other people, which is not the way I want to live. Again, it goes back to regret thing. If I think of myself 80 years old, I know I'm gonna look back and I would regret living a reality just to please other people who now when I'm 80 years old might be dead. All right, so it's crazy. But these are the things that will stop you from taking action. All right, so stop caring what other people think. Like just do it. The thing is like when you do it, when you actually just take action regardless, you're gonna learn like, oh, a lot of people just aren't even like thinking of me that much. Like they really don't care. They have their own life, their own problems. There's a psychological phenomenon called the spotlight effect. All right, it's where humans will massively overestimate how much attention people pay to us. All right, we think people are constantly judging us, thinking about us. What are we wearing? What do we look like? How we're talking. What do we say? Like all these things. And the reality is like people are very focused on themselves. And they always think everyone's thinking about them, but no one's thinking about you. It's a reality. Like no one's really thinking about you but yourself. All right, so like realize that like it's just a little thing that happens. So that's number 2. Number 3, this one is critical. You will fail without this third one. It's the long game. Or it's the long game. So with this one, like you must, like if you want to build a successful business, you must be in it for the long game. All right, I know a lot of people are just starting out, trying to start their business for the first time, myself included when I started. I wanted to win as soon as possible. Of course, we all do. But I had this, like, I set these expectations for myself. Like, oh, I need to hit, 10K a month within the first 4 months. Some just arbitrary timeline I would set for myself. And then what happens is you reach month 4, you're not at that milestone yet. And then you feel like all these negative emotions. You're frustrated, you feel like a failure, you feel all these things. And a lot of times what will happen is this will cause you to quit. All right, I've seen it many times. I've seen it many, many times. People set these arbitrary expectations that in reality don't mean anything. Like why would you have to make, $28,000 a month by April 14th, 2020? Like it's just an arbitrary thing you set up in your mind. Like it's all fake. It does not matter. And so like one of the things that's really helped me is removing timelines, removing time frames. All right, I don't have a goal where like, a lot of people will say like, oh, write in your journal, I have to make this amount of money by this date exactly. I don't do that. It causes too much negative emotion, all right, too many like expectations. And so even if you get close to that, like even if like, let's say, I have a goal and I have to hit it by, December of this year. Once I'm starting to get close to that October, November, like I'll get like a lot of like anxiety, negative emotions if I'm not close to that goal or I haven't achieved that goal yet. And it'll just, that day will come. And if you're not there, just so much negative things. A lot of times it just ends up in quitting and failure and all these negative things. Like you can just remove the time frame and just keep working, keep doing the inputs and know, hey, over the long time horizon, I will achieve this goal. Like that's what matters. Like you're just trying to actualize it. The actual time frame you hit doesn't really matter that much. All right, so you must play the long game. Also, another thing with this is you make different decisions when you play the long game versus the short game. All right, so I see a lot of people out there who are just trying to make quick cash. And I get it. Like I get it. Like a lot of times you gotta pay your bills, so I get it. But like the more and more you get out of that mindset, like definitely like business has changed for me. Like when we're able to when I'm able to pay like all my living expenses like on day 1 of the month, you just play the game differently because the decisions you make are different. Like I'm not concerned with like, oh, I need to make money today in order to survive. Like I'm playing the long game of like, hey, how can I make my business the most valuable asset for the next 5-10 years? You make different decisions. You sell differently. Or you train your team differently. You hire differently. Like everything is different when you're operating from a long time horizon. Like things are just different. So it's crucial, man. It's crucial. These are the big three. All right, the big three. So number one, be okay with failure. Number two, stop caring what other people think. And then number three, play the long game. If you do these three, like this is really gonna be the psychology required to win. All right, it's gonna absolutely change your life. So please do this. All right, please take action in the face of fear, and you're gonna realize you're not dead. You're gonna realize you're okay, and you keep on going. All right, so that is a video. Hope this helps. If you're an online coach and you want one-on-one help to install predictable client acquisition systems into your business so that you can predictably, consistently sign clients every single week, click the link below. I have an offer for you. It's a pretty crazy offer. So click the link below if you want all details and pricing on it. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.